So these are the things, these are the fundamental aspects to get to the next level. Whatever you want to do, I don't know where you will be going, different places you will go. So if you work along those lines, and then ultimately comes down to the teamwork. Teamwork is the ultimate work. What I have seen in the government, there are a lot of egos for a lot of people. You spend a lot of your time in satisfying their egos rather than really focusing on the problems, people skills. So reading the room, what kind of people you have, whether it is your politician or your colleagues or your senior officers, and then ensuring their work is done is another whole art. That's nobody will teach you in your business schools and other places. That is where experienced people can guide you through that. In the process, what I have seen, people take shortcuts to get their things done. But once you start taking those kind of shortcuts and other, then you start diluting who you are. So that is where, if you really want to go a long way, you really have to pay attention to every detail, what you want to do in your life and why you want to do your life and what other people want you to know about you. So you need to have that kind of clarity first. Once you have that clarity, you work along those lines, even if it is difficult. What I suggest is, even if it is difficult, I always tell people to follow Dharma ethics, because those may not give you the best money in the world, but they will give you the best peace in the life. No one can touch you if you follow the right path of Dharma. Very difficult for somebody to touch those kind of people, disturb the peace. So these are I have few quotes that I can always tell them. Laziness kills your ambition. You should never be lazy. You should structure this kind of stuff. Jealousy kills peace. And I want everyone, including myself, when I went to Usmania Medical College, my rank was 27. There are top 20 ranked people, they're genius. They study less than half of my time, but they do better than me. It was very hard for driven people to accept that fact. But the minute that you start understanding the world is such a random place, there are so many people that are smarter than you. Some may look, more handsome than you. Some may have more money. Some may have better character. Some may have better voice, better tone. So they're all possible. You just have to accept the fact that some people are like this. They're better than us. The minute you accept it, you start getting the peace. And then understand what is the gift that God has given to me. And then you build on that. And the third thing I want to tell you, leadership is something most people think they're born leaders. It's not true. Because when I went to US, I had zero leadership qualities, zero. All I had was drive and passion to help people. But all the leadership qualities I built on. There are a lot of great books, How to Influence and Win Friends. There's a book like that. You can read that and watch all the great people interviews, best leaders, right? Who achieve great things. You read them, you understand them. Then there are books, Secrets of Successful People. Once you read all of those leadership skills can be really cultivated. So if you get those good quality leaderships and you define like this, then nothing can stop you. At least it will give you peace. So the reason I tell you this is because always second richest person wants to be the first richest person. What does the first richest person wants to? He wants to retain in that first position. So there is nothing like, money and all that stuff. You can never count on it. So instead of comparing, create your USP, create value always for others. Value for others. This is another important concept. Anybody, the reality is people are selfish. 90% of the people, you take this standard deviation, 10-20% of the people are extremely altruistic. They don't care about what you give, but they always give what they have. And 10-20% of the people, you put the best laws in the world, they will continue to be antisocial. They will commit crimes, and the 60% are the people that go based on the systems, rules, and circumstances. But so like that, if you want to be the top 10-20%, if you can be the top 10-20% without anybody observing you, you continue to do what you think is the best given circumstances, the world will reward you and recognize you. It might take some time. It may not happen, within a day, a month, or some, nobody will recognize you. It requires consistent effort of good things for a long time for people to know you. So build on your USP, work on these things, but big picture on what I told you. And most of the times you will be very, very, very happy. This is my take. This is my life. I wanted to tell you. Do I have, everybody will have problems. There is nobody in this world that's devoid of problems. If someone is abusing you, I'm sure somebody will be abusing you. Every day, when you get into the government, it's always remember they are being abused by someone else. Okay, so always follow the positive attitude. Everybody has one or the other negative. Do not focus on their negatives. Always focus on because the minute you start focusing on the positive, negative, unconsciously, subconsciously, you will be developing your facial or body features, some negativity about that person. That negativity energy will be spread and people will feel it. But if you start thinking big picture, everybody has negatives, let's focus on the big positives of the other person, then your expression, your body language would be different. And that will create a lot of goodwill in the long run. So creating less number of enemies, creating as many positive people also will take you much, much longer than you can imagine. So these are all very subtle. Again, nobody tells you, but this is what I realized in my life. At that time, I did not know how it would be doing, but those dots eventually connect and you would be surprised and shocked.